welcome to Leaders of Tomorrow Season 10. With me, Sunanda Jayaseelan, tonight on the show as part of a very special series, Eye on Dubai. First up, Samir Gupta, our reporter on ground, joining us from Dubai with Nanovo, a company that's revolutionizing and changing the way you buy and sell in the entire retail ecosystem. Also in conversation tonight with us is Continental, talking about the auto and the tire segment and how that is changing here in the country. Our first segment tonight is a conversation with a company that's changing the way retail is being done in the Dubai UAE market, and leading those changes is, of course, technology. All of those conversations, I'm handing it over to Samir Gupta, a reporter joining us from on the ground in Dubai to run us through really the conversation he's had with the company. Abhishek, over to you.
Yes, that's right. Retail today is in fact at the cusp of something truly historic, marked by tech that none of us have seen it. And it's only a matter of time before AI truly transforms not just the back-end operations, but also the day-to-day shopping experience. And all of that is taking shape here in Dubai thanks to this Dubai company, MT Square, that's partnered with Nanovo, the Polish tech firm that just 6 months ago helped launch sixstreets.com, the first and only phygital store of one of the largest retailers here, Apparel Group. Now let's talk to the man who's been leading this revolution from the front. Dadi Motiwala, thank you first of all for talking to us.
My pleasure.
You are the managing director of a Dubai-based tech company, MT Square, one of the oldest tech companies here in Dubai. And you also represent a Polish company called Nanovo that's specializing in digital in-store experiences. And of course, you made a lot of news just about 6 months ago with the first phygital store here in Dubai at the Dubai Hills Mall. Can you tell us a bit about exactly what phygital is? We keep hearing a lot, but a lot of us have this question in mind. How does it work?
Okay. Yes, thank you for having me. The concept of a phygital store is the ability to take an online business, which is purely online, and they want a bricks and mortar presence, to combine the online experience with a physical presence. So one of the issues today in retail is cost of retail space. It's very high. So if you can reduce the footprint and allow people to have the same experience they would in a larger store, then that's a winner. So the phygital store essentially has no products. Everything that you shop is shopped on terminals like iPads and Android tablets, where you choose the product, and there is a warehouse at the back which can store many more SKUs than you would in a normal store. Now, if you had to store product in a normal store, you would be limited because everything has to be put on hangers and has to be displayed. Whereas in a phygital store, you're basically seeing everything that is available online as well as everything that's physically available in the store via digital version. Once you choose a particular item, then that item is brought into a fitting room within 3 minutes, and you actually get to try it out and decide whether you like it. You can make changes to your shopping basket from inside the dressing room. You can change sizes, you can change colors, and decide to try new things. And all of that happens seamlessly through the system that Nanovo have designed to communicate what happens from the front of the store into the back of the store in the warehouse. Once you decide you want to buy it, you just you leave everything there, and it automatically comes to the front where you pay for it. So the advantage of a phygital store is that, one, it allows you to try before you buy, right? People don't have to block their credit cards. When you're purchasing online, one of the things you have to do if you want to have multiple choices, you have to order all of them. And then you actually are paying for all of them before they actually come to you in the house,
at your doorstep,
right, your doorstep. And then you find, oh, the size was not right, or the color that I thought was a blue is actually a purple, and
not
I really don't like it.
the exact shade that you were looking for.
And then you have the onus of returning everything back. So it's a cost issue with both the retailer for restocking and time. So it's inconvenient. So with a phygital store, the cost of returns drops down to 4% from an average of 30%. So for a retailer, it's a big win because they don't have to worry about that. For the user, I mean, they are basically able to try before they buy. They don't block their money, and they only pick what they want. And at the same time, you're reducing the footprint of the store and having a much greater stock variety than you would in a real store. So it's the combination of online experience with the physical experience, which you want the touch and feel. You want to be able to try things out. So you'll be able to do both of those in a phygital store.
Right. I mean, it obviously sounds and looks very good on paper as a concept, but it no longer is a concept, and I can tell you that when you launched your first project with 6thstreet.com, which is, of course, apparel groups. I think the first
fashion online portal.
Digital store, so to say. Can you tell us how that worked? What exactly was involved? How did it come through and eventually saw the light of the day?
It's the same thing that we did in Poland. You have to realize that Nanovo is a leader in Poland in digital stores. Our client there is called Motivo. We have done about 40 stores for Motivo so far. So we do phygital stores for both fashion and apparel, as well as for shoes. So we had that experience already there. And then retailers here are always looking to Europe to find new technologies, new things happening there. So once I had my association with Nanovo, obviously my job was to find clients for them. I met Dharmin Ved, who's the CEO of 6thstreet.com, explained the concept. They were very keen on it, and it just took off from there. So we basically proposed the technology. They had an architectural firm from London who were the people that we worked with for our Motivo stores. So the design part also fell into place very easily because they were working with architects who knew what the concept was and what the technical requirements were. And we worked together with them over a 6-month period to get the first store up and running in September last year.
If you were to foray into the Indian market with this technology, what kind of retailers do you see taking it up, and what kind of opportunities are there for other tech companies, just following suit from your game-changing
I think that there's a tremendous scope in India because the retail space in India is huge. India has also got a huge plethora of online portals. And I believe that what we are doing here with the phygital space would work with any Indian retailer who wants to reach out, who's completely online right now, but needs a bricks and mortar. So you can look at groceries, online groceries, you can look at fashion retailers, you talk about people who are selling white goods. All of these retailers can benefit from a phygital presence.
I'm wondering why has phygital stores not popped up in India yet? Or you see that happening very soon? And if you do, how soon that should be?
I think it should happen soon. I mean, to be honest, we have reached out to Indian retailers and talked about what we have done. And there has been interest. But obviously, something like that is decided right at the top with management. They have to check whether their expansion needs are aligned with what we can offer as the advantages.
Yeah.
One of the problems, or not problems, one of the things is labor is cheap in India.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So even though it may not be technologically sophisticated,
Yeah.
you can put in 10 people for the cost of a technology solution
Right.
To offer
Which is
services.
why this has worked in a place like UAE, or seems to be working. And of course, it's doing wonders in Europe, especially
Absolutely.
in Poland.
But I think India is an early adopter of everything now. And
Yeah.
I definitely think that phygital is here to stay, and that phygital will play a sort of a prominent role in Indian retail.
Before we wrap up, of course, a lot of this thought that eventually became a reality was backed up by data and numbers. If you can shed some light on how this is overall enhanced the shopping experience.
One of the greatest things is the rate of return dropping.
Yeah.
With the phygital store, an online portal normally has around 25 to 30% returns. With the phygital store, we found that quantified down to around 4% from 30%.
Okay.
That's a
sharp,
tremendous savings for the retailer.
Yeah.
The other sort of advantage or rather effect of the phygital experience is that those same customers go back online and shop with much greater confidence. And we find that people who have tried the phygital store, where now traffic going back to the retailer's online portal increases by 15 to 20%.
Wow.
So that's another advantage because people are comfortable. They know that, they know those brands. They know that at any time they have any questions, they can just go to the phygital store and try it. So they are much more comfortable shopping with the same brand.
Dadi, thank you for talking to us.
Pleasure, Abhishek.
And we should catch up very soon. This was Leaders of Tomorrow. Stick around for more engaging conversations throughout this year.
Abhishek, thank you so much for that. I'm going to take a quick break. On that note, on the other side, a very special conversation with Continental, talking not just about the tire market, but the entire automobile ecosystem. Stay tuned, back in just a moment. Welcome back with us here on Leaders of Tomorrow. Joining me live on the show at this point is Samir Gupta, the MD of Continental. Samir, so good for you to take the time to join us on the show. Samir, Continental has been in the business for about 150 years. You're present across the world. Just talk very briefly to us to set the context for viewers about your growth and your journey and what really perhaps the roadmap has been like for you.
So, hi Sananda. Basically, Continental has a very, very long association with India market. We entered into India in 1970s with a technological collaboration with one of the tire companies, which is Modi Tires. However, in 2011, we took the 100% shareholding of Modi Tires, and thus we became the Continental Tires India Private Limited. Over last 10-12 years, we have expanded a lot in terms of our production capabilities and R&D capabilities. From a truck and bus bias tire plant, we invested into a truck and bus radial tire production in Modipuram, followed by the passenger and light truck tires in Modipuram. With our investment into R&D capabilities, we are able to bring the latest technology products from our global range into India. The latest introduction I can talk about is Conti Sports Contact 5 into passenger car segment for 19 and 20 inch tires. So these tires come with a latest technology called the black chili compound, which gives a much better traction. These tires are much broader and gives a much wider coverage or a contact area with the roads, thus giving a better contact or a grip on a wet and dry surfaces. These tires do have a very low rolling resistance. So this is all about passenger car tires. When I talk about truck tires and the bus tires, we are bringing in our technology, which is more about digital tires now. So we are in the phase of now rolling out the digital solutions into India market.
Could you talk to us about what kind of tires you largely make?
So Sunanda, basically globally, if I talk about, we make all kind of tires. We have different business areas. So in one of the business area, we are producing truck and bus tires and passenger and light truck tires. Then we have another business area where we are producing all the specialty tires, which is more about bicycle tires, two-wheeler tires, agri tires, off-the-road tires, and even we have acquired a company in US, which is Hoosier tires. These are basically racing tires.
Currently, the automobile sector, I understand, contributes about 7.1% of the country's GDP. Talk to us about some of the changes in terms of just the contribution to the economy and what you're seeing.
Nice question, Sunanda. So you have seen the types of cars which used to come in late 90s or early 70s or now in early 2000s. So the automotive industry is basically going through a significant transformation completely for last many years. As I said, the types of cars we used to see in 90s is no more the types of car we see now. And maybe the types of car we are going to see in next few years would be completely different. Basically, there are three things which are driving this transformation is electrification, automation and digitalization. Owing to the sustainability topic, Indian government is putting a lot of emphasis in bringing electric vehicles on Indian roads. There is a lot of automation we see in cars. Cars are now coming with driving assistance systems. You see automatic parking assistance, the emergency braking systems now. Going forward in near future, we can also expect driverless cars and more connected cars on the roads. So all these trends are basically driving this entire transformation.
Input costs have gone up, of course, thanks to a lot of the supply chain disruptions that we've seen, not just the pandemic, but also the war that you're seeing now in Ukraine and the cascading effect it's had on several industries. And the one I want to talk about is, of course, the tire industry. Just talk to us about the changes that we've seen because of these supply chain disruptions and how you as a company are really cushioning and safeguarding yourselves against that.
You have rightly mentioned this, Sunanda. This is not only a topic of Russia-Ukraine war. There are many other instances that we have seen. It's all about logistical imbalance that we have seen because of COVID, the Suez Canal accidents, the natural calamities that we have seen in different parts of the world. All those things put together have basically created a lot of supply-demand gaps, where the demands are a bit higher and the supplies are lower. And this has created a big cost avalanche. And we have seen this avalanche in terms of raw material price increases, energy price increases, and also the logistics price increases. Somehow we are trying to manage the cost in terms by improving the efficiency in our plants, manufacturing plants. However, industry is bound to pass on some of the impact to our consumers.
Do talk to us about how important road safety is for you as a company and what you're really doing on that front.
Sunanda, road safety is a topic which is a big concern not only for us as an organization, but a topic of a concern for the entire society. If I talk about Indian roads, we see more than 400 lives that we lose on a daily basis on Indian roads by virtue of road accidents. Somehow we need to stop all these things, starting with the government initiatives where government is building best of the road infrastructure in India. Ensuring that we don't have a lot of potholes on the road and the roads are smooth enough to improve the logistical efficiency and also to ensure the safer mobility of our customers. From the continental part of we are participating into various forums. Recently, we have conducted a summit on road to safety where we had invited the Honorable Minister of Road Transport and Highways. We are also partnered with you, Times Now and ET Now, where we are broadcasting the safety tips on the news channels to create more awareness for our consumers. On a global level, we are partnered with the NCAP New Car Assessment Program campaign, which is Stop the Crash program as a partner. So all these things we are doing as an organization in terms of spreading the awareness.
Companies like yours are ensuring that you're bringing down your carbon footprint, becoming nearly zero carbon, and becoming carbon neutral really by the year 2050. Why is it important on one hand? And two, talk to us about your efforts.
In Continental, we are committed to have 60% of our flagship products to be carbon neutral by 2030 and all our products to be carbon neutral by 2050. We have already started working in this direction. So one of the initiatives we have taken is using the recycled PET bottles to make polyesters, which is one of the component which goes into tires. We have also introduced a Terexagum bicycle tire range globally, which is made out of Dandelion rubber, which is completely natural. Other thing that we are doing in terms of sustainability is that we are using green power. In Modipuram plant also we have ensured that we have installed a 2 megawatt solar panel now. So we are moving towards the green energy apart from other sustainability actions that we have taken.
With your tagline, Future in Motion, talk to us about how you're really ensuring that you're prepared for that.
As I said, the two key topics, road safety and sustainability. These are the two key topics which will take us to the future. And in Continental, we believe in creating better tomorrow, creating value for our customers for a better tomorrow.
Samir, such a pleasure having you on the show. Thank you so much for taking the time.
Thank you, Sananda.
Out of time on tonight's conversations. If you have any feedback for us, do let us know. Our details on your screens as we speak. Thanks for watching. Have a good night.